Take two. So welcome to my vlog. I'm Donette, and am on this vlog promoting repatriation to your home country. I am always promoting repatriation for so many reasons, including the fact that prices are overwhelmingly too much for homes or for rental properties, and to just purchase foods, just the basic things that you need in the first world countries. It's really overpriced. And I do believe that moving back to your home country, taking the very things that you have already established from your host country, taking back your skill sets makes a lot more sense than continuing to stay in the grind daily. So do like, do share, do subscribe to my channel, and let's do this together, okay? I moved to Guyana from Miami to open my own bistro because I knew it was possible here and less possible, at least way more or less possibility of me doing so in the US. I read a post the other day from on Instagram, and I commented on it. And this post talked about registered nurses, and this is from a registered nurse, and he was saying, registered nurses work in, for like they have this partition in terms of what they're going to spend their money on. This is for Starbucks, this is for rent, this is for, so 4 hours for this, 2 hours for that, and this is how they work. So despite the fact that RNs make a decent salary, pretty decent salary, he's still saying this is the juggle. And this is what I've been saying, right? That, and then other people have said it way before me, how expensive it is to live in these countries. And when you have housing, affordable housing as a problem, obviously people are going to face even more tumultuous times, because they're basically working 2 and 3 jobs just to meet the mortgage or just to meet the rent. And of course, we over exceed in terms of spending on things that we don't even need, things that we end up putting in storage, things that we never wear. And it's just really those situations that get us even into more trouble: credit card debt, school loans, and so on. Don't even talk about school loans for me. So, I am just in that process where I'm just looking for something different. And I don't want to face that grind anymore. I don't want to live the rest of my life just feeling like this is all I'm going to do. Just work and pay bills, work and pay bills. And so that's why I'm here in Guyana. But I want to tell you that I came here with a purpose. So I didn't come here just to sit back. And so from the very beginning, if you've been following my vlog, I told you what I was going to do. I told you that I was going to open a bistro. I told you that I was going to teach from overseas. I told you that I had a plan in terms of how much things actually I had a pretty solid idea of how much things will cost me each month. And predictably, or even realistically, a lot of those things are living up to its name. Now, I am, paying less than $150 a month in bills. And I really, really like paying that amount on bills. I don't have to worry about paying any major, any mortgage at all, because the property, I built it out of pocket, right? My husband found out about me building the property about a year after I started building it, because pretty much I wanted to surprise him with it so that he can move down here with me, right? You don't want to leave your partner behind. You want to take them with you. And the way for me to get him to come down, I knew was going to be if I started the project. And I'm the bold one. I'm the one who will get up and do things. I've never been afraid to span my wings, and I'm never afraid to do things and to start over. And I don't see it as starting over. I think it's just a continuation of my life that I had already started. So I just wanted to do it differently. And I don't want you to think that there was some sort of hardship or anything like that. So just a little background. I teach college. My husband worked for American Express. We were doing pretty okay in our one bedroom apartment at the beach because after the children left home, we pretty much downsized. Because one went away to the U.S. Marines, one was on his own for a very long time, and the other one went away to college, to the university there in Chicago. So it wasn't a situation where you're facing hardship and hey, you just need to find a way out of it. No, this is just making firm life decisions about what it is that you're going to do next for the next 50 years or so. However long the Lord has you on this earth, what are you going to do with your time? How do you want to spend it? How do you spend your working hours? Is it going to be for someone else, or is it going to be to benefit yourself? And I made that decision that even though I wanted to continue to work, in the university settings, I also wanted to venture out on my own. And so therefore I shouldn't be relying solely on a salary. I wanted to begin to build my own empire. And there is nothing wrong with trying to venture out in your own hometown. This is what I'm familiar with. This is spaces that I know best outside of the U.S. And where I've lived in the U.S., right? So this is where I know best. So I decided to come home. So home for me, for those of you that don't know, or if I haven't said it in the vlog so far, is Guyana. And I think it was the best move. I thought of the fact that I could open a place because I do weddings on the side, and I've done that for maybe about 8 or so years prior to me moving. And I wanted to see if I could possibly have a venue there. But then, of course, you're renting someone else's venue, meaning that every month you have to foot that $8,000 bill, right? And if you don't come up with customers, then your business is going down really, really quickly. So I continue to do stuff from my home. I didn't do anything outside of, in a venue in terms of rental for myself. I let my clients rent, and then, of course, I do the decorations. That was cheaper, saved me money, helped invest in a lot of the things that I would buy for future weddings and so on, and always making sure that I invested back in my wedding stuff. So I have a lot of wedding and event stuff because of my side gig that I did over the years. Right, I really never invested my own monies into that from my job. I invested monies that clients paid me to do their job or do their weddings and events, and then of course purchase the things that I needed. So with that said, I had this wonderful plan in terms of moving back to Guyana. I had this plan to make sure that I aligned everything so that way my husband and I can have a self-sufficient life and we can prosper. So I didn't come here without a plan. So please don't, if you are planning to move back, don't go or don't come without a plan. You need a plan. You need a solid plan, and you need something that can work for you to bring in an income. That's one of the things that they ask you when you do the remigration status application. They ask you for what are you going to do for an income. They want to know that you're coming back to do something that is going to benefit you and also be good for the community. Now, you don't have to give back to the community, so to speak, if you don't want to or if you don't have the means to, but certainly, to be a good citizen and to not, be doing something criminal, I guess is their point. They want to know that you are going to be okay financially. With all that said, again, making sure that you align yourself well, making sure that you have a plan in place and following through. So me planning a couple of years in advance made sense. That's what I did do. I planned in advance. I also, I started billing in advance. When I came here, I didn't intend to stay almost 2 years ago. I came just to oversee the project before my husband came, and so to surprise him with the opening, and that didn't work out. I eventually felt, just kind of told him because he was kind of suspicious as to what's happening. Anyway, so I kind of just came out and told him, okay, well, this is what it is. And then he joined in, and we just started moving forward and did a lot more than I anticipated doing within that amount of time. So we have built out a whole lot more because of the fact that I found out that the rain is it's just a very, very like it just doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Like the rain in Guyana is a lot, and I've said that before. So we had to end up putting on a second part, and now we're doing a third part, and I am here to update you on that as well. But just want to encourage you that if you feel the need to go back and get out of the grind and go back to your home country, please don't hesitate to secure a land space. Go do it now. And you don't have to wait until you're 75 years old when you can't do anything for yourself. And then you come back and you put the burden on these people who don't want to take care of you anyway because they feel like as though you didn't have any time with them when you were up and well and doing okay. And now you're back and, you expect them to take care of you. They don't receive you very well. They don't treat you very well. I heard, so, for a lot of people that is. But, you got to be careful with that. And I think that goes to show that, this thing about, oh, yes, I'm going to, it's my family. I'm going to go back home and they're going to, be all good to me because I'm family. Well, they're also looking at how much did you do for them when you were in a position to. And if you haven't helped somebody else, then, they're now saying, well, why should we help you? And so that kind of resistance is there from jump when we don't take part in our families and help them out. And even when we do take part, there are just some very selfish people in the world, period. And their honor is not towards you. Their honor is, what can I get from you? That's the only thing they honor, right? So, and that's something that I think all of the Caribbean islands face, where we have people who constantly want, and they don't know how to, reciprocate that same kind of kindness. And they think that you're stupid because pretty much you're a giver. But, we in the U.S. learn how to give. We know how to give. We're constantly giving, and giving is in our hearts. And then when you come here and they see you giving, they think probably, oh, yeah, well, they're silly or they're stupid or they're so kind that they'll never say no. But some of us do say no. You reach a breaking point where you say, no, enough is enough. And, or you just pull back from people. So, I'm not coming here looking for a handout. I'm not coming here begging anybody for anything. I pay for everything that I want, and it feels good to be in a position to do what you have to get done, and to be able to pay people, and to be able to, call a taxi and say, hey, pick me up some food, bring it over because I'm starving right now. I don't have time to cook. It feels good to be able to get all your work done on your in my venue. It feels good to be able to just pay for whatever I need, right? That's a blessing, and to be honest with you, that's the way it's always been. It always feels good when us responsible people do what it is that we're supposed to help in terms of our, to aid in terms of our own existence, and not sit and depend on anyone else. So what I'm saying essentially is that the same attitude that you have overseas in terms of where, what it is that you do daily, the same grind that you have, keep that energy, because you're going to need it when you get to wherever it is that you're going. Don't leave those attitude of self-dependent or independence over there. Like, take that with you, because you're going to need it. I don't depend on people to do anything for me. I get out and I do it. I go shopping. I do whatever it is, because every time you send somebody out, they always come back with something that, that pisses you off. That's the next thing. They piss you off because they, a lot of times they just come and they tell you, oh, I don't have a receipt or whatever. And that is a bunch of BS, because just about everywhere these days give a receipt. And I know my stores who give receipts, and that's where I sent you. I expect you to show back up with a receipt, but they come back with, oh no, there's no receipt. Well, that's because they just kind of, jilted you some money. You know what I mean? So I tend to just do things by myself, or for myself. I also tend to be responsible with my energy and with my time, so I don't divert my time into sitting there and wasting with people who don't have anything good to offer you anyway sometimes, and who's concerned with other people's business and all that stuff. So my energy is towards my business and towards making sure that my customers are happy, towards making sure that I'm well, of course, first and foremost, in terms of my mentals. My mental is in terms of my spiritual, in terms of my physical. That's what my energy goes into. Let me see. I feel personally like as though I've made the right choice. Have I made the right choice in coming to Guyana? Yes, I did. I wouldn't change it. I would not change it. Today is one of those days where you wake up and you feel good about everything around you, right? Do I have tough days? Oh, no. I think I get a little bored sometimes because my husband isn't here. Like we are usually together. He gets, he's the breakfast maker. He also is the cooker, period. But I do cook whenever, for him. So I do cook for him, and I do. But generally, the good food is what he cooks. He cooks some really good food. I just cook. I cook. I mean, decent food. But he's the best cook ever. Ever, seriously. So, and he's not paying me to say this, and that's not because he's not gonna cook again if I say it, but honestly, he's a really great cook. So, what I would say is this: is that outside of me missing him, most of my days, 99% of my days, I'm really pretty good, in high spirits. I'm doing well. I think I get outside of me missing him, I think people piss me off a lot of times when for that 1% where I'm pissed off. It's somebody that did it because they do something that irritates me. Something, like take stuff that they're not supposed to take. Like the other day that they went into my kitchen to do some work. Well, the cement is in the kitchen because I needed a place to store it, and we're not using the kitchen right now to do anything. So I stored the cement. It was a lot of cement, so I needed a place to store it because of the water. Somebody went in there, took one of my knives. Like, I know what I have in there. It's my husband's kitchen, but I know what's in there. And one of the little boys who came to help lift some stuff must have picked up the knife because it went right when they were here. And now I have to lock the kitchen because you can't trust what else is going to go missing. And I usually do lock my things, but that day I just left it open because they had to keep going in and out to get the cement. So there was no need, and I'm not sitting out there watching them work or whatever. I'm inside watching TV and doing what I got to do. So I'm not that overshadowed or frightened type of person where I think people are going to steal stuff all the time. No, I'm aware that people do stuff. But anyway, by then, the knife is gone. I'm like, forget about it. So after then, I just lock my kitchen, take out whatever I have to take out for the workers to work. But sometimes they leave their tools in there. Hanger grinder, electrical cords, whatever. I just take it out before I know they're coming, and that way everything goes well. And I lock back my kitchen door. And these are the things that I'm saying, like little things. And you don't want people touching your stuff. But to be honest, and with all respect, my audience who comes here, not my workers, and this is when you miss things. So the construction workers are usually the ones that will touch things. People who come here to the venue, they don't touch anything. I have things around here. I leave them in here all the time. I go outside. I go to the garbage. I come back. I go to to take care of the projector. People don't touch anything in here. It's the construction workers that you have to worry about. They're always feeling like something that is on your property belongs to them. Like I had 2 buckets the other day. This dude, I know that wasn't his bucket. I saw him packed up all 3. buckets, right? And I'm thinking, okay, I said, yo, take my bucket. Can you put it back? But I didn't even think that he was going to take it. I thought that he was packing it because he was going to leave it there. And I was like, yo, put it back because I don't want to be lifting anything. He's like, oh, yeah, well, this one is mine. Two were mine. I came with two. And I'm like, and I'm looking at the bucket. It's an old bucket, but trust me, it's not even a big problem, right? I just bought two new buckets recently because I went to Georgetown and bought some fish and some other stuff, and that my brother-in-law bought for me actually off the wharf. And so I bought buckets to put it in so I can drive up to Linden because you don't want it leaking out or whatever in the driver's car. So it's not the bucket, it's the discipline. And he says, "Oh, I brought two buckets," and I'm like, didn't see you walk through there. I opened the gate. I saw you with one bucket, but anyway, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm like, okay, should I go look for my bucket, the other one? Because I should just call him out on it, just to call him out on it, because it's not the bucket, it's just again, the discipline in it. And I'm like, nah, let's leave it. Maybe it's his bucket. He left. I went looking for the other bucket. Do you know that bucket is not here? So he took the bucket. I mean, why? You could have just asked me for it because it's not even my bucket, actually. It's the workers who came here left the bucket from months, probably over a year ago, and it's still been here. But why take the bucket if you knew it wasn't yours? Why are you lying? So now I can't trust him. And it's so funny. He's the same guy who, when the knife went missing, that's when it went missing. So it was either him or the kids. So I'm like, oh my God. So maybe I'm blaming the kids, but maybe it's not the kids. Maybe it's him that took it. But, now if he comes back to do any work for me, everything is going to be locked up, right? Because he does good work, but, you can't trust people like that. Anyway, so my goal here is to motivate you, right? But to also always tell you the truth, which is you have to be on your P's and your Q's. You come in with a plan. You make sure that you're not dependent on anybody. Get your butt up, go do your things yourself. So that way you don't have to worry about people taking your money, being slight with you and stealing your stuff or stealing your money, telling you it's worth 20,000 when it's actually worth only 10, or somebody who just don't have any, who will talk about you because you're now dependent on them to do something for you. So don't bring that lazy mentality with you, and because you don't have it in the U.S. You don't get that chance to be lazy. We have to work our asses off. So don't think that because you're coming here, you can relax. No, you still have your life to live, and you still have things that you have to do. You still have to put that energy in, and so to move here or to move back doesn't give you some sort of cue or some sort of permission to be lazy at your life. Like you've got to do the work. Like I am where I am in terms of my building because I've had to do the work. And if I didn't do the work, if I didn't spend the time, if I didn't spend the hours, early morning, 6 o'clock, I'm up, sometimes 5 o'clock, so I can get to the venue so that I can, let my builders in. Sometimes it's cement work, sometimes it's woodwork, sometimes it's whatever work it is. It's building the bathroom, building the kitchen, building the other building, building somewhere else, building up the fence, putting on the protection. It's the lights, it's the this, it's the that. It's always something. So my thing is that if you're coming in to rent, okay, well, maybe everything is set for you and you don't have to worry about much. But I wouldn't suggest renting long term. I would suggest that you purchase a piece of land and you build your own place. So that way you don't continue to do the same thing you were doing in the U.S. All right. So I am going to show you my new building. Hello. Yes. Hold up. My new building. I'm so excited. All right, so remember I told you guys that I was going to start the building. So the last time I showed you, it was just the post blocks that were up. Now, of course, we have the framework on it. and everything. It gives you more of an idea of what this is going to look like in the long run. All right. At the bottom, as I said before, we're going to build two rooms, which partially we're going to have to stay in one because we need a place where we can put our heads after we are done working. And we didn't build yet, and we're not ready to build yet. So, but then, of course, I have my granny's house. So, and the whole upstairs, is empty, and that's where I stay. So we can go there. It's not like we don't have a home. We have a home. It's just this, to be able to stay on property would be good. Over here, I want to get it painted, but there is so much wrong with, even though I just did it over, the cement has to be, certain places there's crack in it. There's some areas that still pick up water. So I have to get those things fixed first before we even decide to paint it. And then also, I don't know if I was going to put like the fake grass on it. So I don't know, but the fake grass is so expensive. Paint is much cheaper. I may just go that route, at least for now. All right, so this is the new building, and I'm excited about it. It's the 20 by 40. So again, downstairs is going to be the room. Upstairs is going to be the Mona Lisa dinner and dining lounge. It's going to be more of a rooftop garden type of approach, and the stairs are going to be on this end of the right end of the building. All right, so pretty much that's it. But anyways, guys, once again, I want to encourage you. Yeah, I put out my table already because it's the weekend. So I usually put the tables out on the veranda. I still have to put the cocktail over here. And upstairs, I've begun to leave it empty until my husband gets here. Then we're going to put furnitures up there permanently. Because it's hard for me to bring furnitures in. In and out, and then of course that's how I hurt myself, by lifting things. So instead of me worrying about it, I just kind of left it. Well, I changed out these chairs because these are my wedding chairs. So I actually brought them in here because last week I had a wedding, and then I had a thought, instead of putting them back in storage, I might as well bring them in here. So I did. I really like them. They look really cool at the table, and I'm excited that my husband sent them in for me, because that is something that I love having for my decor. All right, so pretty much that's it, guys. Well, this is just for the people who have never seen the inside and who probably haven't watched another video. And of course, my arch is over there. That's the one that I just did recently. I used the wall over there where the palm trees are to show videos with my projector, and that is pretty cool at nights. It looks really good, gives it a nice Miami feel. All right, so pretty much that's it, guys. Oops. So again, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, and just tell people about my vlog. Tell them about the lady that's doing a vlog on repatriation and trying to encourage people to move back home. So tell others about it. Do come back and see me whenever it is that you have a chance. And of course, with you subscribing, it allows you to get a notification whenever it is that I upload a vlog. Well, thank you so much once again. I'm Donette, and I talk about repatriation here. Alrighty, don't stay and do the grind. Come back or go back home, and make sure to live that other half of your life well, and with less bills and less worries. I'll see you soon. Take care, guys. Bye bye.